Hi everybody, Miles here, the teaching professional at Southwark Park Golf Club. This week I wanted just to spend a bit of time isolating one small move in your golf swing, a crucial part of your swing, and for some people they might be doing a lot of other things right and this one move is ruining them, and it's how your hips work through your backswing and downswing. They play a huge role in generating power, stabilising you, transitioning weight, all these other important things. So let's go through a couple of mistakes first that you might notice in yourself. So the first one for me would be a reverse pivot, which is where, even though you might have made a really nice backswing and that looks like a good position, all the weight is down this left side. You really almost end up loading this left knee, this is obviously for a right-hander, and your leg goes very straight. So we don't want that position here where this leg is bolt straight and the weight is on your left side. That's a real ruiner of a good swing. So here's a tiny little tippy type drill for you. You can use anything. A chair normally works well because it's the right sort of height. Or if you're on the range, you can set an alignment stick or your umbrella up. So if I push myself almost against this chair, I've got about the space of my fingers down the side of the chair here. If I make a good swing and turn away correctly, I'll create a little bit more space, but I've pretty much still stayed right in the middle. The mistake would be is if you feel yourself starting to come forward and push against it. So that space that was there is now gone and I've moved over to the left a little bit. So it's a good drill for you to constantly, you'll be able to see that you've created that correct space from the thing you've moved away from, while at the same time staying completely centered. Right, so that's that a little bit. Obviously there's people who sway, where the hips go sideways, or there's potentially the people that go up and the left heel comes up and they gain a little height. So a correct hip turn will put that right. So what we're looking for is right hip back, your left knee starts to come inwards and down towards the ball. That's a good feel really. If you feel this knee is coming down and in towards the ball, you're probably doing a good job. And at the same time, you're retaining the flex that's in this right leg. So what you're really trying to do is create this big coiled spring to unload on the way back down again, at the same time staying pretty centered. I know you can probably find me some tour players that do slightly different things with this left foot, your Scotty Schefflers and your, who was Greg Norman, you know, Bernard Langer, they all sort of lifted the foot a little bit. Don't compare yourself to them. Try and make yourself into a much more controlled swing where you're not this fabulous natural talent, all right? So that's what you're looking for. Left knee in, retained flex of this right leg, and you're loading this right foot. So at the top of your backswing, you want to feel that there's 60% of your weight on your right side. That's going to be used as you start to drive back down. Remember, the reverse pivot people have no weight to transfer because the weight's already here, so they can only almost go backwards to hit the ball, and that's a huge problem in golf. Very rarely do I have an instant win with someone. You know, it's normally layers of stuff to make their game better. Once you stop someone reverse pivoting and doing it properly, they can be like perfect straight away or hitting great shots very quickly. So that's what you're looking for on your backswing. You're staying centered, you've loaded this right side, you've retained some flex in your knee. Now what happens to hips on the way back down? Two things really. Initially there's a lateral drive. As you start to get the weight from right to left, it's a very small move, it's not a big shove forward, it's an initial move to start to get the weight transitioning. But the tricky bit is to make sure you can pull back this left hip back to clear the space for the club. So that's what you should be feeling, that you've loaded this right side, we've started to transition across, but then you've got this clear. And that's the very hard bit to do. Once you get to this position, you'll probably find yourself in a much nicer finish position. So hip turns in golf is really important, how your hips work. You cannot, you know, if you imagine a static move with your hip like nothing, you just be all arms, it helps you make this coil and release again the other way. So it's a move that we would definitely work on if you came for a lesson. For most people, it always needs a bit of fine tuning. And if you want to, I've just started my winter program, an hour in November, December, January and February, an hour in each month. You pay for 3 of those hours and not 4. And in that period of time, we can really seriously work on improving your game. It is the time to change your swing now. The course is hard to get on. Your good scores are gone for a few months. This is the time where you should think about, if you do want to make a change, make it now and give it time to bed in so you're ready to fly at Easter. So thanks for watching. See you all again soon.